Boy. Boom, and we're live. What's going on, you guys? Special little stream today, man. It is the Crypto Mindset Group Stream 2, baby. V2. I've got a lot of guests right now, all from the quarter 4 chats and stuff, the last course we did. And as a final goodbye, we start the sales of the next course on Monday, January 10th. We're going to end up kind of hanging out and chilling with a lot of the VIPs from the last course. So I'd like to bring up Big Sky Traveling, man. What's up, dude?
Hey, man, it's good to see you. It's been quite the year, hasn't it? Lots of ups and downs, and thankfully lots more ups than downs.
Definitely, man. Definitely, man. It's good to see you, man. You wearing McDonald's hat?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. I thought like, oh, your hat just looks weird.
Making money. I got to get that dirty fiat somewhere, man. You know, get a second job
right. So I can get some more crypto going.
Yeah, people in the comments like your beard, dude. They're like, nice
how
beard, So
you starting to feel
a little better? Are you still kind of under the weather? Or?
Oh, I'm still hell under the weather. 100%. Oh my, like I'm not good at all. But my brother's even worse off right now. Actually, he's like borderline going to take him to the hospital maybe pretty soon. So like, yeah, not too hot, but it's just is what it is, man. But we also have another OG, quarter 4 alumni, original quarter 4 alumni, the man, the myth, the legend, the Arthur K.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, brother?
Good, man. I'm good. Staying busy, trying not to burn out with the crypto.
I mean, it's impossible, dude. It's impossible. There's too much to do, man.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, people are crying about Bitcoin and stuff, panic on Twitter. But I think there's actually so much more going on now than, say, 6 months ago.
Yeah. Oh, dude. It's yeah. This whole year has been kind of crazy. Like, I think I said this maybe on the last group stream or something, that like 2021 was probably the most development I've ever seen happen in crypto ever, like bar none. It's insane. Like 2020, pretty. I mean, that was pretty decent. I mean, we went from just barely being able to use Ethereum, then Uniswap, and then we started maybe barely getting the L1 tokens maybe emerging, but like there was nothing on them. And then like 2021 was literally L1 season basically, and everything else as well. And now we're all of us are on AVAX and Phantom and everything like that. PulseChain's coming out, and it's just like this. It's like, dude, it's crazy. It's like 2 years ago. Like if you had told me that we'd be like doing cross, I mean, I couldn't see it at the time that fat. Like I thought, yeah, maybe in 5 years, but not in like 2 years. I mean, so it's pretty nice. But oh, who's that in the background right there? Is that a Magical David? Wow.
Oh, hey. What's up? Yeah.
What's up, brother?
Dude, not much. Having a good time. Lots of stuff out there to look at and learn about. Keeping me occupied.
Hey, man. Hell yeah, man. If you guys don't know who David is, smart son of a bitch. I ain't going to dox his stuff, but smart guy.
Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, man. I also have some guy called Andy of the Mac, from what I see. Let me see if I can pull him up for a second. Oh, there he is.
Yo,
I'm fucking with that pink shirt, bro.
huh?
I'm fucking with that pink shirt, man. I like that. I like that sandal.
Yeah, good. Having a day off finally. I've been working my ring off. It sucks.
off a bender or what?
No. Just ever since, I took on Q4 course, I was thinking, you know what, I'll just put in this much money. And then 2 weeks passed, you know what, if I just had a bigger bag of this, I'll put in this much money. And then you just start doing overtime, working. I need bigger bags here, bigger bags here, bigger bags here. It's never enough. Like, shit.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's just like crypto gets you to work so many hours. It's insane. Like, never will you voluntarily throw your life away for fiat more. Like, you're just trying to find more ways to make dollars in order to throw those dollars or whatever currency you're using away to get the real stuff. Like, ETH and Hex and all these other coins, which you can actually make money on. That's real savings. But
I'll buy this bag of Hex, and you sort of ape something and you go boom, but then 10 minutes later you realize it's still not enough. Like it's not enough, still not enough.
Oh, dude, it's not. I've got buddies of mine in Hex and stuff that are still like trying to weasel ways to get more T-shirts. Like, and these dudes have like T-shirts for days. Because it becomes keeping up with the Joneses at all levels. It's the Bitcoiners too. It's like this whole thing where like you always want to have a little bit more like. Yeah, he's on my level and stuff, but like I have more than him, so like he's just kind of a bro. He's a pleb, he's a pleb, bro. Like, but he's my buddy, like, and then that's how like it's kind of fucked, honestly. It's like the whole thing when people are competing against yacht sizes and shit. Like, my yacht's bigger than your yacht. But oh, whoa, what is this? A magical Kel appeared.
Hey, Miguel.
Hey, what's going on?
Just laying low. I'm a bit under the weather like you, but still thought I'd jump on and say hi.
Hey, well, we appreciate that. Do you have the Android 19 right now, or what?
Yeah, tail end.
Got you. Yeah, it's no fun. I'll say that for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's going crazy.
Definitely, man. Oh, Wild Jeremy appears. What's going on, brother? You muted.
Oh, sorry. What's up, guys? How's everyone doing?
Doing good, man.
Solid.
Extension in the background right there.
Oh, come on. You got to know that's Juice WRLD.
Yeah. Man. Oh, is that Juice WRLD?
Yeah.
I figured, man, because like to tell you the truth, man, I was like, if I'm being for real, a lot of those rappers kind of like. They all look the same in the brains, bro. Like,
no, yeah, they do for sure.
Yeah,
no, this is X's album, though. I have it.
Wow. You have it on your desk sealed?
Yeah.
Oh my god. cool, man. And let's see who else we got in the background. We got Ayo. What's going on, brother?
What's good, Miguel? How you doing?
Doing good,
How's
man.
everybody
Doing good.
doing? Yeah. Hey, I already took vacation off 21st to 31st at work, bro. You know, I gotta show up for Cultivate Crypto, baby. So
Yeah.
all 8 hours devoted to you guys. Cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Dude, that's awesome, man. And honestly, that's one of the. I mean, I know I understand some people can't do that, but like taking time to like actually like take time off of work to be able to do the course is actually pretty beneficial because you get the most out of it basically. And two, you can be a part of the sleep gang.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. We also have Black Label Expat, man. What's going on, dude?
Yo, DCC, what it do? What it do?
What it do, bro? What it do? We got a full house today, man. I got more and more people coming, man. It just keeps going. So what you up to, man, right now, man? What you buying?
Right now I'm probably cycling more of my WFTM for more Boo.
Yeah, Boo's been a really strong investment, honestly. People were kind of negative on it a little bit when it was $11 and stuff, but that eight when I saw that APR at 73% APR on XP,
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, yo, dude. Like I saw 103% when you mixed it between that and the W fan, because some people capitulated and sold their positions or XBOO positions. So what happened is it's the same payout. It's just less. All the people left for a second. I scooped up some Boo at the time, and then I gained just like hundreds of XBOO. I mean, Boos and Boos and stuff during that time and stuff. So it's been pretty nice now because we're back. I think we're at $24, $25 right now in Boo right now.
Yeah, I think about thereof.
Yeah, and that's kind of the power of those kind of X pools and stuff like that, which are pretty powerful because especially if you're getting 25% APR, because like a lot of you guys have done probably the Phantom Boo or the Phantom Boo LP and stuff that pays like 40-50% APR. It's a pretty decent amount of money, especially as you start getting tens of thousands of dollars in there. It pays out on a daily basis, a decent chunk of change. So imagine having the same amount in APR paying you that, but like Boo token, you're really dollar cost averaging quite a lot of tokens without like giving yourself the tax basis, But,
yeah, and it easily compounds too. I mean, you could just keep buying more like XBOO, which makes more XBOO, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, there's actually another interesting one too. If you guys are interested, like it's still fairly valued and stuff. It would have been nicer if you guys could picked it up, but like Terra coin and stuff. It's like the sun or something. They just added a couple weeks ago the X Terra pool. And the APR is okay. I mean, it's like 24, maybe sometimes 40% APR. But they launched their first ever secondary pool, which just like XBOO, you can take your XBOO and deposit into a second pool, and they give you something called T Phantom. And T Phantom, when you have a deposit, when you receive the T Phantom, that T Phantom itself is earning 14% APR as well. So you're earning Phantom. They've created an incentive structure of 14% APR to have people deposit Phantom in there, so they can have a consistent flow of Phantom. And what they do is they pay out profits and then pay that out in more Phantom. So it's even though it's called T Phantom, it's actually X. It's like X Phantom basically. It's the same sort of format. So you're earning both in X Terra and you're earning X Phantom too. It's pretty sick. I totally just got it happenstance. I just saw it like one day. I was like, it's fucking cheap. It's like $5 million in market cap. You know what? I'll buy some. And then like I've been pleasantly surprised because it's like I think it's almost $1. At least last time I saw it.
Sounds like everyone's taking hints off of T shares.
Yeah, that was what I was about to say. I'm all about that T-shirts. It's a really good price right now, low key. It went like around under 10K actually for one T-share. And the high was around like 23K, 24K. Yeah. I was
up in the middle of the night watching it.
Yeah. You know what?
I was so hyped.
I was so happy because like the 36-hour expiry expired for me, so I could like actually take some profits off of that.
Yeah.
And it was like inching very close to $1 billion in market cap. I took some out and then like repofficated in like lower, so like maybe like 11K and bought some more. So just cultivated my crypto a bit more. So yeah, I can't wait for the money printers to start brewing when the TWAP's over 1.
Oh, I know.
Or something.
Yeah. I've been able in under 3 weeks to I probably increased my position in T-shirt by repofficating and stuff from my T-share Phantom pool as well as from the T-share pool, I was able to increase my T-share stack by 40% in 3 weeks.
This
So
is
the
a
total.
cemetery.
So imagine if let's just say to make it easy, like let's just say I had like 10 T-shares or something, or 6 T-shares or something like that. Like I gained 4 T-shares plus.
Got you.
Or 40% of that, basically, whatever the math works out to, in like under 3 weeks, which was like, oh, wow. And it compounds faster because, like, when you get let's say when you used to get the tomb rewards, you can sell the tomb rewards and then get more T-shares. And if you also have the Phantom T-share pool that's also paying out, you can also take that, sell it, and just deposit the T-share because they pay you in T-share in the secondary pool. So like what I did myself is because I thought the price might go down, but I didn't want to take profits just yet because I wanted to take profits on T-shirt once it's like between 28,000 to 30,000. Because if you look, Wi-Fi at the same time hit an all-time high of $36,000 per Wi-Fi as well during the time. So Harry Ye's trying to match the price of T-share to Wi-Fi. So I'm like, Mazel tov. Beautiful. So, but we only hit 24 when they hit 36. So on the next run up, I do expect, something like a 28,000 to 33,000 kind of price and stuff on it. There's always going to be sort of a glass ceiling for a while, unless like Wi-Fi really fucks up or something. But since Andre is like also working with like, Daniel Sota and stuff, or Daniele Sota from Frog Nation, the guys who made Spell Token and stuff. Yeah. And Harry Ye is also working with Andre Congrier as well. It's kind of like you end up have this kind of like triumphant, basically, like an old style Roman triumphant and stuff, where like these guys are just one of the reasons why Phantom's been also performing well, because the Twitter hype money's been jumping into Phantom basically, which is like benefiting us,
Yeah. Do you repopulate into the tomb? Oh my bad.
No, go ahead. No, yeah. What's up, Tiger Mike? I feel bad because we had hella people in the background.
Yeah. I was just gonna ask, do you repopulate into the Tomb Phantom LP or the T-share Phantom LP?
I personally, okay. So if you're more this is how you play it. Okay, if you don't care about impermanent loss and you're able to take more wild swings, I personally like T-share Phantom. Yeah, but if you're playing with more money that you're like, I don't want to like fuck around with it too much, you have to do Tomb Phantom if you're gonna play around in this thing. But I will. There is a little warning to this. So at some point they're gonna launch the Felix exchange, which is a very strange name for an exchange, but like basically it's run off of like Binance Cloud Services, which is they're just basically you have a front end and then Binance actually runs their whole exchange in the background for you, is what it basically is, and then they probably take half your profits. I'm kind of guessing that's probably the business model. And when that launches, they're going to have a launch pad of a bunch of projects. So when Harry Ye did the whole thing on what do you call that? The DC conference out there in Abu Dhabi, well, on the Abu Dhabi thing, right? He basically bought 40% of all the teams on Phantom cash. Like it was like I remember watching a lot of the stuff and like I was following a lot of people on Twitter and stuff and just kind of looking at what was going on during that time. And he was like, "Dude, Harry Ye just fucking offered my team like millions of dollars, and he just gave us our own suite and stuff." So he bought a building. He bought like floors and floors in a big like building and stuff, and started giving people offices and stuff and like all kinds of things and setting people up and then buying teams cash. So the reason he was doing that is because he was essentially buying teams that will only accept Tomb token for their IPO, ICO, or whatever, IDO, basically, on Felix. So what he's doing is he's going to drive a ton of demand for Tomb token and drive the pick to two versus one, basically. So if during that one time, when we go from 2 to 1, there will be some impermanent loss, probably even on the Tomb Phantom side, because there has to be, right? Because at some point, but eventually once it stops, you over with DCAing back it manually, you can like kind of buy back all the Phantom you lost over a certain period of time, basically. Yeah. And obviously all this stuff is like it's pretty complex and stuff like that. But it sounds complex, but it's not that complex. A lot. I mean, I've gone through some of this with a lot of you guys already, and you guys know what it is already. Like what I did.
Are you buying bonds?
No.
You buying T-bonds? No,
I don't like T-bonds. I mean, I can, I guess. I mean, like because like what I was doing is like I think I told maybe Jeremy this actually. I've been saving something like 25% of my Tomb tokens, just to save them, because I wanted to have some kind of Tomb tokens. Later on, the price is going to shoot up. So let's just say Phantom's price is $4. That means the Tomb token could be $8. stuff, So what if like from what I've heard, what it's going to be, you need a certain amount of tomb tokens to get a certain level of like membership or whatever the fuck it is, like diamond membership. So you have access to so you can allocate a certain amount of dollars into the new tokens at launch on the Felix exchange. So, so basically, like the tomb, that man, it's gonna be sick when that happens, because then like the t-shirts are just printed at that point. Like, because the higher the TWAP and stuff is, like if it really is two versus like the Phantom price, I mean, we're probably gonna have 1,000, 1,500% APR on the t-shirts. And that means the t-shirt price is gonna fucking skyrocket, basically, in order to like, so it makes sense and stuff. So it's gonna be crazy. But but remember, it's volatile as fuck, right? Because at some point it's gonna take a big dump. So it's like you gotta always like, you take your profits, you're having hella fun, and then at some point you gotta like cut it early, just so you don't get bit. And then when it goes back down, then you can rebuy back up if you want, or just walk off with the Phantom, basically. But yeah, man. Oh, Big Sky Traveler, what's going on, man? Sorry, I didn't see you there.
No, it's all good. I for once, I actually have worse internet than you, believe it or not. I had to drop out.
Wow.
Had to drop out and switch over to my Starlink because I wasn't able to get on for a bit there. But nah, it's all good.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go more into depth into all this stuff during the course as well. Like, I'm just kind of scratching the surface when it comes to that. But I figured, like, my original kind of gut feeling strategy really was like, for someone starting off, they shouldn't be in t-shirt at all. They should be in either Phantom t-shirt or Tomb t-shirt. I mean, you know what I mean? The Tomb Phantom or t-shirt.
The cemetery, yeah.
Yeah, the cemetery, basically. Later on, you can take, if you want with profits, to buy t-shirt. That's how I started originally, and then eventually I got like a little more ballsy, and I was like, fuck it, let's go. And then I bought t-shirts, basically. But I mean, I got lucky for the first maybe like 3 months of me being in t-shirts. Like, it was always printing. Basically, it's only up until just recently, when from that one hack from the Grim.finance hack that happened, that the printer's been kind of messed up, basically, because there's just a lot of supply, because people were repothecating, right? Because they have a very intricate system and stuff with these contract risk platforms and stuff like Reaper.farm and then Grim.finance and stuff, which is a very good platform. Well, Reaper is, but not Grim. But like, because what they do is it causes an automatic buying pressure, basically. So if the cemetery gets paid in t-shirt, but the t-shirt when they sell t-shirt doesn't dump the price of the TWAP, right? Which is the Tomb token. And then what it does is they sell it and buy Tomb on one side. So there's like an automatic buying pressure. So a quarter of all the rewards are actually being used to, basically t-shirts always have some downward pressure on the price a little bit, because the repothecators are taking the money and then buying Tomb with it, basically, on the repothecators. So if they're getting 40% of a percent per day, that reward gets split up and buys. There's always like a buying pressure, which is really good. So when those pools got hacked, you essentially took away a lot of the repothecation and the efficiency of the repothecators, which took a lot of the buying pressure that was there for those pools, basically. Yeah. So, and then what happened from there is, because people got scared because of the repothecators, people jumped into t-shirt. T-shirt went up, and then people started dumping. T-shirt pays out Tomb, so more people went into it was kind of fucked up. So we were kind of even. So what the way the system has to kind of work, from what I figured out, is like you have to be heavier on the cemetery. You want to be heavier on the cemetery side, because I'd rather have downwards price pressure on the t-shirt price than on the Tomb price, because you want the peg to stay high. Basically, not break. As long as the peg is going high, I mean, we're printing and everyone's happy, basically, because APYs are good enough that we're pretty happy. And then all we have to do is, like, all that matters in the system is that Phantom just doesn't go complete the dog shit. And as long as it's slowly trending up, then everyone's just printed money, basically.
So I mean, Phantom is just great, right? We all like it, but isn't really the goal is to hold peg, because then it's a minimal impermanent loss.
Yeah, but
that's how I looked at it. It's just I split up my positions. The leverage, I took it as a leverage Phantom position. So as long as the peg is around 1, I'm actually fine.
Right. So yeah, exactly. So So this is a really weird thing where, like, they're now in like stable coin, basically, but and I'll explain this during the course because it's pretty. I don't want to have this on YouTube. I'll talk some shit. Honestly, oh boy, it's not flattering, honestly. Like, 'cause I have been like a little shook about what I found and stuff, and what I figured out, and I'm like, fuck. So it's like at some point, yeah, like there's gonna be a ruggening at some point, probably. Not because the projects are bad or nothing, just because people need liquidity and stuff. And I'll go way into detail in the courses, basically on that front. But in terms of what's the master plan with T-Share and like Tomb and stuff and everything like that, is basically they're trying to get the total supply to about 1 billion tokens, which would be about roughly 40% of the supply of Phantom currently. And that will take about 5 years of emissions to get to that point. So basically, T-shares and all this stuff can pay out for a long time, basically. There is one little hiccup in the story, which I personally don't think they figured it out, is in right now, the most profitable thing to be in that system is to be in the cemetery. But in the cemetery, how can I say this? Like, okay, for the cemetery, those emissions on T-shares, because the maximum supply of T-shares is 64,000 tokens, basically. That emission basically stops in the summer around June, July. So how are they going to incentivize liquidity to stay in those pools at that point?
Stablecoin.
I haven't figured it out. I'm just like that. That's the first little hiccup. So I mean, I'm taking I'm telling you right now, I'm taking profits before that happens, basically, for sure. That's what it really, like, right now. I don't see a really good like sidestep and stuff. So we still got 6 months, basically.
You said emissions stop in summer?
Yeah, and probably the summer takes some major profits, basically. Still, I'm still going to keep some a nice hold, like maybe 30% of my stack or something like that. But I'm taking a shit ton of money off the table by then, just in case, because I'm not entirely confident that they're going to be able to like provide a solution. And I hope I'm wrong, but like until I'm proven wrong, I'm going to treat it as if like that's the case, because like I've ran through all the game theory, and the way the system, it's an Ouroboros, it's an infinite, it loops like this, basically, right? So without the T-shirt payout, you end up not having the incentive structure for that whole right hand side of the structure and stuff. So why would people provide liquidity for T-shirt Phantom and then Phantom Tomb if there's no T-shirt payouts?
Yeah. Right.
So then from there you lose liquidity, and then that could cause TWAP to break and Tomb price to go down. It's yeah, it's a lot of stuff, basically. Yeah, I think the chat's kind of confused.
Yeah. just search up seniorage system. You guys will probably learn a bit about this, but yeah.
Yeah. Let me laugh. My favorite thing is just saying like, oh yeah, T-shirts only go up, and I'm just looking side to side, like. But yeah, man. What you guys want to talk about, man?
Good segue into Hex now, I guess.
I mean, yeah, we can get into Hex. Let's do it.
There's the special airdrop that David knows about.
Oh yeah. I was talking about Hadron protocol before. So essentially, it's this protocol that's aiming to provide some extra liquidity to people who have Hex stakes. So if you have a Hex stake that's served at least 1 day, you have an airdrop coming to you in July. And airdrop's not the right word, but it's the right way to think about it. So the protocol does 3 things. You can mint Hadron, you can tokenize your stakes, and then you can borrow against your tokenized stakes. So the way in which you mint Hadron, the minting function, is simply a function of the number of days you've served times the number of B shares you have times whatever multiplier you get. I can explain that later. But essentially, if you have 100 B shares in a stake that you served 1 day, on that day, every day that you serve that stake, you can mint 100 B shares. So day 1, you can mint 100. Day 2, you can mint another 100. Then if you wait 2 more days, then you can mint 200 Hadron tokens. And then the tokenization, what you can do is take your Hex and submit it to their smart contract, and then stake it through their contract, tokenize the stake as an NFT, and then you can trade the stake across whatever market you want to. And you can also mint against that tokenized Hex stake. And you can also, the third thing, borrow against that Hex stake. So say you have a Quattro Cinco stake 5555 for 100 B shares. You can borrow for all 5,555 days times the 100 B shares that you have, and then you can mint that amount of Hadron ahead of time. And then you essentially just have to pay that back, plus interest payments with an APR that's calculated based on the global hex APR. So say it's 40% or APY. A 40% APY, you would then owe 20% APR on the loan that you take. So if you borrowed out 1,000 Hadron, you would owe 1,200 back in total, and that APR is distributed over 30-day payments. And if you default or don't make a payment in 90 days, your stake is then up on an auction where then other people can liquidate you with Hadron tokens. So they'll pay off your debt, and then you can obtain that stake yourself. So those are the three main things in the protocol. But the main thing to take away is at the end of this month, if you have a hex stake, you do have some free coins that you're able to claim. As far as I can tell, and doing your own research, interest-free. You just have to claim it, and then you get the Hadron tokens according to the number of days you serve. And there's a multiplier too. So for the first 10 days the protocol is online, you get a 10x multiple on the Hadron that you mint, and that lasts for the life of your stake. So for a 15-year stake, if you mint on day or claim on day one, you don't have to mint, you can just claim it and just get that multiplier for the entirety of that stake. Every single day you serve, you get 10x the number of Hadron forever, for as long as the stake is.
Got it.
If that makes sense. That's kind
I
of
will have to say though, be very careful connecting your wallet to this and stuff. I mean, I'm not saying that the team is bad or anything. I just don't know the team or anything, but it sounds really good. These are ideas that have been floated around Hex for a long time. That encapsulated stakes and all that stuff, and being able to borrow and stuff on your Hex and everything. Hopefully it works out, but I'm really not trying to be a downer, because I will be investing in some other projects other than the Richard coins, basically. But I'm not really investing a lot of money into them, basically, just because like we got 5 tokens. we kind of have a 5 tokens already on. We got Hex, P Hex, PulseChain, PulseX, and then whatever the waffle token will be, the yield farm token. And then so pretty much, I personally feel like I got my hands full a little bit already with all that kind of going on. But I'll definitely look into it. But I'm for me, right, I would still be very skeptical of like connecting my wallet to it myself. So I'm kind of gonna be looking at it with like a 10-foot pole just maybe before I touch it or something like that, because it takes one hack to lose your hacks, basically, or something like that. Who knows? I don't think that's going to be the case, but if they pull this off, it could be worth a lot of money, basically.
So from what I've seen, when you claim the bonus or when you mint Hadron, it's a read-only function, so it doesn't actually get any kind of access to your wallet. Of course, do your own research, and for everybody listening, to look into that more. But from the Telegram group that I've seen and reading the white paper, that's what I've seen from that. The biggest contract risk I've seen is making the tokenized hex stake, because you have to give it to their contract, and then the contract stakes for you. Of course, they're going with the ethos of Hex, admin key-less, trustless, immutable code. But of course, it is a non-Richard Hart project, so a little more skepticism when looking into it. But it's just an opportunity that I found that I thought adds a layer of complexity already to the Hex system that I think, like you said, Miguel, could have a lot of value if it gets pulled off.
Yeah, I've seen quite a couple. I think I've heard 2 other projects trying to do encapsulated stakes as well, basically. So we'll see who ends up doing it. We'll see who ends up doing it, basically. But I would definitely tell you guys to stick to the basics. Get your Thanos Infinity Gauntlet. 5 jewels first before speculating on. I mean, the only thing I could say though, like we can't promise, but at the very least, knock on wood, I don't think any of the projects that Rich is launching is going to rug, basically, right? So it's like, make your granite floor, and then you can speculate on shit coins afterwards, basically, Plus 2, I do know quite a lot of you probably don't have like massive staking ladders anyway. So, but hey, free money's free money. So there's free money out here for sure. So just play it however you want, basically. Just be careful.
Yeah, but somebody asked in the chat about Spirit Swap. I actually was curious what you think of them. The price is holding up pretty well.
Yeah, let me just answer this one really quick. Douglas Murray, $5. I currently have $70. I mean, $70. 70% in Ethereum, 20% BTC, 10% Dot. Should I hold as is or swap into something else? Probably should have some hex in there somewhere. Honestly, just for the snapshot and stuff, you probably should have some hex and some phantom as well. I'm kind of guessing and stuff, but you're probably gonna have to take it from the either BTC or the ETH, basically, because you don't want to. 10% is actually a good allocation for Dot, basically. But yeah. So for Spirit and stuff, what do you guys want to know about Spirit?
I saw it in the chat, but I figured I'd ask it.
I'm not in it personally. Spirit.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know if you're still in
I
it.
want to know when they're going to get leverage. They're supposed to get leverage coming up soon.
Yeah,
that's why I got into it a while back, and I've staked out, got a lock stake, earning quite nice interest, held through the big dip, and now it's coming back. But yeah, I got into it because they're talking about decentralized leverage, which could be big money for them.
Oh yeah, it could be huge, but you're right. It was supposed to come out a while ago. It was, but like a month or so ago. So, I think they could probably release it. It's just the market's down right now, so they're probably looking for it to be more bullish before releasing all the good news. That's kind of what I think is kind of going on with them. In terms of like how you can earn on it, it's not bad. The APR is pretty okay. The problem is you have to do a lot of in spirit, basically, in order to get the bonuses high enough or the multiplier high enough to do it. And there's basically an incentive model where you can take your spirit rewards from, you can do spirit phantom boosted farm, earn some decent rewards off of that, but then take that yield and then stake it out 1 to 3 or 4 years, and that gives you a certain amount of like these tokens called Lin Spirit or In Spirit, and you can then vote on your pool, and over time you can increase your multiplier in order to get your APY up to like 75% to 90% APR in the rewards and stuff. And then once you hit a certain dollar amount, you have to get more in spirit votes and stuff to kind of do it, basically. So it's pretty cool. It is.
I think they released the beta.
It's a lot of shit, honestly, with that project. But I think
it's in beta right now. It's running.
Is it really?
I'm on their site because I'm checking my pools. Yeah, the ape mode, it's in beta, but this is new. You deposit to Mimvol. Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't sure it was live yet and stuff. So personally, I had a position just like you, and then I sold it and just went into Boo basically on that position, which turned out pretty good. But I will say this, so in terms of like volatility of the coin, what I find is like Boo's almost it's almost about 1x more volatile than Boo token, basically. So during the last run, right, I think if I remember correctly, Boo started off at $17. It ran up to $34, and Spirit was at 20 cents and launched up to like 60 cents. So basically, we got roughly a 2x on Boo and a 3x on Spirit. But then we also had the same amount of a dump as well. We had about an $11 Boo price when it fully is like bottomed out, and then we had literally like 6 to 5 cents, 4 cents on Spirit at the all-time low, basically, as well. So from 60 cents, that's fuck. That's a big drop. That's a big drop. So so you have to be very careful with it. But it is a decent coin, I think, to like when it's in the dumps is not terrible because it is the second best exchange. Though there is more competition with like Beethoven X as well as like I guess Liquid Driver as well, basically. But Beethoven X is the one that's starting to kind of like get some heat right now, which is pretty cool as well with beats and stuff. But yeah,
everything IFTM is just so scary, man. Beethoven, I saw Beethoven X like a day ago, and it's like basically Boo, but I think there's another level or so where you can like stake your. What is it? You stake like your LP, and then you take that LP, and then you stake it again, and then you get like another X derivative token, and then you can stake that one again. So it's just more levels to that. So there's just more complexity.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I mean, I do like. I mean, like, I've been in that pool. I've been in that pool with beats and stuff like for since the end of the course. Basically, I've been in the beats pool basically since then, and it did pretty well for about a month, and it totally stole my money afterwards. And recently, I'm in the green big time. I'm like, oh my god! It was because it was like so. Just to give you like a number, imagine like I put $100, and when I look back at it, I was down to $22. So I was like, man, you know what? Like, fucking forget. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it there. Let's just see if it comes back. I checked back, and now it turned into 250.
Nice.
Like that. Like I was like, holy crap! So it turned out pretty well. But when I was in it, when I was originally in it back in September, the APR it was another pool because it was one less complexity of the pool like we were talking about, and the AP and I was basically earning 80% to 1% a day on the yield. Now the yield's basically somewhere like 0.5% to 40% of a percent a day, basically. That makes sense. Yeah. So the emission schedule is kind of going down over the next year, basically, and then the emission schedule will probably be equal to probably I'd say like a boo, like an X boo, or maybe like a phantom boo pool, 50% APR. But man, there's a lot of shit to do in fan, dude. I've been in a lot of these ecosystems, man, dude. These other ecosystems are trash, man. There ain't shit to do. Like there's so many good working projects that like people don't even know about. Like I'm gonna go more into depth into all these coins, like probably in the course as well. But like but yeah, man, we probably should get back to Hex probably.
I guess speaking on that, what do you think about liquid loans and the haunted strategy where they, I don't know, maybe you're going to talk about this in the course, but they're basically trying to, not affect it, but like just basically artificially push up the Pulse token price through collateralized loans and getting everybody basically on board to buy and then repoffic it at 10%, etc.
Right. So, I mean, fuck it. I might as well say it. We're probably going to do a pool for it at some point.
Cool.
For that one, just because I've known about that project basically since almost near the jump, basically. I've already done a stream with some of the team members and stuff, and I've actually like talked to them in the background for a long time. I mean, for a good time to explain the project. And I was already really fully aware of the project already because it's completely forked, almost like copy pasta forked from Liquidity, which actually was a token I was considering putting in the courses a long time ago. It's just we started running into Ethereum problems, so I was like, fuck, like because like it was around the time when I was showing you. I don't know if some of you guys from maybe the older courses might even remember this when I was showing you guys how to do Aave loans. And like I tried to do an Aave loan, and I ended up costing myself like $800 to take a fucking I got a $2,000 loan. I was like, Jesus Christ. And that was when the gas fees weren't even that crazy. Now that would probably be a $3,000 loan, unless they made the contracts more efficient or something. So, if I remember right, the sacrifice phase for the liquid loans project will be in USDC or stablecoin only. So that's how we'd have to gather the funds for that and stuff. But we would just have to talk about more of that in private, basically, and all that other stuff, as well as like probably not going to go as hard as I did for PulseX and all these other chains. It's more of a side bet, really, like a side piece, basically. So that's kind of how we should probably treat it as well. If it does well, we do pretty well with it already. But yeah, it has a good shot. And so in terms of that strategy of the repothification and stuff like that, I was told some things in the background too of like what they're planning to do as well. If they can pull it off, sure. But if they would need a major player to want to play that game, but they can definitely use that to like pump the fuck out of the price, which is true. But,
is it just like folding? Like you're just
it's folding. Yeah, it's 9.9. It's in 3.399 basically. It's like you're just borrowing and like. But at the same time, if the person who's borrowing those assets is like, you know, if some entity who has a ton of money, and they have free coins, were to just keep borrowing on the coins to create a stable coin, and then using that stable coin to then pump up the price, basically that person could just basically almost has unlimited coins. He can just keep doing it, basically, in a way. So it's pretty powerful, you know. But man. That's going to be one crazy roller coaster when that thing breaks off the ledge and shit. But
yeah,
that's the game, though. You know, we're in early and we make a bunch of profits. And, you know, you have to take profits. You know. But yeah.
So DCC, I got a question.
Yeah.
So since we have the Pulse ecosystem about to come out, and there's tons of projects for us to sacrifice for, which gets us a ton of coins for us to then multiply from there. Should we focus on that if you're someone coming to Q1, or should we be focusing on the Phantom ecosystem and rehypothecating through XBOO and several other versions of that?
Have you sacrificed at all for anything?
Yes.
Yes. Sounding guilty. So you just have to be multifaceted in your brain. Like you've got to be you got to have a good port. Maybe you decide maybe 40% of my whole crypto portfolio is going to be in the PulseChain ecosystem. That's fine if you make the decision. But you should still have some other plays, right, to kind of know what's kind of going on, because we're not going to have, like, legitimately, we're not going to have our coins until probably the earliest would probably be April now. So we're 4 months away. We're like 8 days into the new year. So we're 4 months away before getting our coins, maybe. So, that's a long time not having any coins. So it's like, regardless, you're going to have to play. You're going to have to dip your toes into other stuff while we're waiting, basically, or play the whole hex run up and stuff like too and stuff. Because, I mean, right now I think the hex price is what, like 25 cents, if I saw it correctly, which is not bad. It's not too shabby, But it's a sort of thing with, like, I do believe we're going to get a run up on the hex price pretty soon, especially once we get past the 10th. And then we're past the volume multiplier phase and stuff, and then from there, we've had a significant amount of hex taken off the circulating supply. A lot of whales have thrown it in. I still believe we're still getting more whales coming in, because, like, honestly, I'm in my head, I think we're still missing 4 whales from, like, my calculations in terms of wallets that I've seen in the past. So we're missing some people right now, even now. So, and that's not including new players as well, which is pretty cool. So we still got a lot of more action. I mean, today's the 8th, doesn't end until the 10th. So a lot of stuff can happen in a day and a half, basically, So, and then on top of that too, there's probably going to be, I think there is going to be a time somewhere. There's probably going to be a price run up good enough where it might incentivize some people. Because, like, let's just say if you're getting a 2.2x multiplier, and the price does that basically, and it's still, like, relatively close to $1, maybe $1.10, $1.15, and the price maybe shoots up to, like, all-time highs or 60, 70 cents. Some people might be like, it might mathematically work out to sack a little bit there themselves. Like, I might sack here. But it's sort of hard, like, especially for people who are in groups and stuff, or have sacked already. Like, if they already sacked already, then you're better off just probably taking profits or something, or just maybe, like, seeing what happens and stuff at that point, because the price can go pretty high, I think. Because if we get a repeat of what happened last sacrifice phase, like, what was it? We had an all-time high of 22 cents, mostly 18 cents where someone could sacrifice, bottomed out at like 13, 15 cents. And then a couple weeks afterwards, we started running up to 30 cents, 40, and then we were at fucking 56 cents, all-time highs. That was crazy, basically. So I hope we do something as dramatic, but if it's not as dramatic, it'd be something like $1.20 to like $2.40, basically, in price, which, hey, I'll fucking take any one of them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. Yeah. So obviously not everything's going to be exactly the same, because it, like, if you compare both of the the sacrifice phases, they're already a little bit different. So they both started off the same, where, like, in the beginning the price was a little higher, but, like, you've had more of a pump on this one on the back end than we've had on the other one. The other one, the price was pretty dead, basically. The whales would not let the price go up. On this one, I just think what's going on is that there's just way more. There's a lot of people that have a lot of hex and more money than the last sacrifice phase, because around this time, December, January, February are always the months where the hexagons have the most wealth coming out in terms of stakes, the OGs and stuff. So I think it's actually a little bit harder to manipulate the price. Obviously, a whale can still, like, some asshole can just dump like millions of hex and dump the price down. But there's a lot more people coming into the space buying some of it up. So it's like they can dump the price down, but then they're going to be getting out of position, basically, if they're not careful. Which is you definitely can, basically. Because once hex goes to $1 and firmly stays above $1, it's legit. It's money now, basically. You know, it really is money now. Like I remember, like we would like dream that like, oh, one day Hex will be at a penny. Like fuck, you imagine, dude. Like literally, when I came into Hex, my master strategy, like I legitimately thought, okay, Hex is probably going to do a Dogecoin. That's what I thought. Okay, so 8-cent all-time high. Got it. That's not bad. So like being at it when we hit a penny, I was like, wow, dude. And like, but when we hit 56 cents, I mean, like the dollar's right there, you know. So it's like, I mean, it's like, like maybe like my most like, and some people say this is not that bullish, but like compared to where where I've been from when the price was basically fairy dust, a $5.56 price on Hex is 100,000x. 100,000x.
Crazy.
The all-time low. That's possible, basically. Like that's fucking crazy to say that shit. A year ago, I would have been like, you know, yeah, I mean, like, I mean, maybe we can get 50 cents one day or like a quarter. That'd be really sick, or 10 cents. But I was like, we're over here talking about $5.56. So, but we are going to have times explain kind of what I think is going to happen with the prices and stuff. So I'm going to go really in depth. Obviously, I'm going to give a big explanation during the courses about, obviously how to make staking ladders and all that jazz, and then kind of go into price performance and kind of things that's going to happen during the whole PulseChain ecosystem launch. Because I do there's going to be periods of time when like Hex price is going to be pretty middling and not doing shit. So just because the action's on the other side for a minute, you know.
Curious, Miguel, how big do you think the OG Hexagon community actually like Wave 1 OG hexagons. Wave 1 OG hexagons?
Well, let's see. Basically, everyone's a dolphin or a shark. Basically, I think. Yeah,
pretty much.
Because it was so cheap. You could even if you're the lowest end of the dolphins, like you still would be there, or like a really high squid or whatever the hell it is. Like, and it would only cost somebody probably like $1,000, probably back in the day, to even get to like a squid level, you know. So if I had to put a number on it, it's because, but there's also too, like I know some people that have like 30 fucking dolphin wallets. So I know the numbers are a little, like when you see like the range, when there's like I don't know 500 dolphins or 300 dolphins or whatever the fuck number is, right, on the dolphin. I forgot to look at what it is. You know, I would almost say like half of those are somebody's multiple wallets as well. So probably if I had to really put a real number on it, you know, like if there's 100 sharks, there's probably really like 30 or 35 or 40 real sharks in that group. The ones above that, like a whale and stuff, like those are probably legitimately everybody's real. So it's like there's probably 10 people, 40, 50. So we got 50 tops in the between whales and sharks. And then in the dolphins, we probably have legitimately 200, maybe 180 people.
And those are the people flexing on like Twitter and then like also
and all that stuff. So we're probably talking about like the Spartan 300, basically. That's really what it is. It's like it really is. It's the top. It's 300. It probably was 300 people really, and like I would say 2/3. Well, maybe like half of them are OGs. The other half just had more money and still early on enough to like be able to get to those levels. And people still are like getting up there. And there's you know, you're a millionaire, you can get pretty high in rank and stuff over time, especially if people are trading it. But like that's just kind of how the system is. It's the same thing with like, the Bitcoin rich list and all these coins. Like everyone buys your coins kind of cheaper, but it doesn't mean you can't like once you're rich in one system, you then can translate your wealth into other systems over time, and you can stay rich in multiple ecosystems, basically.
Yeah, I was just like trying to compare that to like maybe the OG Ethereum community and see like if that like kind of shows like how Hex can be in a few years, or even Pulse could be in a few years. Like
I think there's more people in the OG there's more people had Ethereum back in the day than they did Hex in the beginning. Like the first day we had a ton of interest, and then it waned off for a while, and we had a lot of people just like there was actually quite a lot for the first day of Hex when it launched, day 1, day 2, day 3, and then it got boring for a bit, or like the price kept going down, and then people left, and then the FUD got away, and so a lot of people sold their bags. So there was quite a lot of people, and only the people who really believed or just decided, well, fuck, I lost my money anyway. Who cares? They just left it. which is like honestly sometimes like not a terrible strategy. Just fucking like saying fuck it. Well, I took the L already. Oh well, let's see what happens. And I've been pretty much vindicated and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what I think's kind of going on with Hex on that side. Doesn't mean like there's always new people coming up, like to the turtles and the squids and stuff. Or there's always a lot of them. There's quite a lot. But in terms of like the Hexagon army, like legitimately, like most people you see on Twitter, like the most people you see on Twitter and stuff that are like diehard Hexagons, and I mean this is no disrespect. Most of them are all squids or turtles, basically.
Where's the chart? Is there a chart for that? Turtles.
Not a chart, but if you go to Staker.app, there's actually leagues, and they actually do show how many wallets or how many leagues, so you can get a rough approximation. So I'm kind of going off of those numbers, basically. Yeah, and yeah, it's pretty. It's you know, it's I mean, it just kind of is what it is, you know, like yeah, with all that stuff, and obviously people are hex flexing and stuff. So that's why we're like maybe a month or two ago, maybe 3 months ago, I made a joke when hex hits $1. Like I did this little meme of like Goku putting all this fucking like Louis Vuitton and all this shit, like because when hex goes to $1, like all the turtles, right? I think to be a turtle, if I got my math correct, I think it's 1 million hex staked. If I remember correctly, there's a certain amount of t-shirts. I think it's like 100 t-shirts, if I remember correctly, or maybe that was a squid, but like
turtles 10, not 11.
Yeah, 10, 11. So maybe I'm thinking about the squids basically, which have 100 t-shirts plus. At $1, like that's going to be a huge group that's going to get paid. Like we have not seen anything on the hex flex side yet, like anything else. If we get sustainably hold like $1, $2 hex, like goddamn, because like 100 t-shares probably produces about 700 to 600 hex a day, right? So just off the rip per year on just 100 t-shares. So it could really add up. So like, you know, somebody has like a stake of 40,000 hex that comes out with payday interest on it and stuff, you know, so it ends up being like, you know, somewhere closer to probably like 80,000, you know, hex that comes out on a stake, which to some people that's not a lot. Some people it's a fuck ton. And then if hex is at $1.50, $2, they're talking about $250,000 stake. Basically, that's a lot of guap.
Do you think that like as we go on, like there's going to be more and more people rising in ranks, and then wouldn't it be like too cluttered, like on specific levels where we have to like change like the bounds of like who's like a squid, who's like this, who's that?
Yeah. So in terms of like the system, if you're playing the system right as a hex, as an OG hexagon, you're always staking out. So there's a way for you to like take like. So if I have a stake come out today, it's a 2-year stake for me. I can then take my principal and stake it out anywhere from 5 to 10 years. And my t-shirts actually, either I maintain my t-shirts or I grow them. There's actually a strategy for me to take my interest, put it in my pocket, take my principal, stake it out 10 years, and have my t-shirts increase something like 40 to 50% on that stake over time. And so what happens is it's a 2-factor thing. 1, my t-shirts are growing. Sick. 2, every year that passes, my income off of my hex staking ladder grows by 20% plus every year. So for the next 10 years, like anyone has a staking ladder, you guys included, are only getting richer every year, basically. So your income or your hex income is only going up every day. But the counteractor of that is basically the hex t-shirt price keeps going up consistently as well, which is a way for it to soak up a bunch of the t-shirts. So during times when the prices are really like dirt cheap, if the hex price ever collapsed down, you know, you could buy millions and millions and millions of hex and just stake out. I mean, obviously it's everyone's preference, you know, you know, because I know it's a lot of money and stuff, but like you could buy a bunch of hex and make yourself a new hexing ladder and stuff, and just buy yourself a bunch of t-shirts and stuff. Because there's always I do believe there's always a couple opportunities every couple of years where you're able to just fucking rob the bank blind. if you got the you know, the fortitude to actually you know, go through with your plan, because it's gonna be scary, you know, like during those times when there's like blood in the streets and stuff, and like, you know, we don't know where the bottom is. It's pretty spooky, but that's where you can make quite a lot of money. But it's like you know, but you can totally lose all your cash as well. I mean, I don't think hex is gonna fail or nothing like that, but what I'm trying to say is like, you can buy it, you think the bottom's there, and then it keeps going lower. You're like, fuck. just keeps dropping. So that's why like just to go off of what like Jerry Oaksmith here was talking about right here with the staking ladders and the way to go. Yeah, like this is why I was the fucking biggest proponent dollar cost crypto. I was like the biggest proponent of the income ladder, which some people were not like down for. There were a lot of dudes were doing like one big stake a year, which I think is retarded personally. But that's that's if you can do that, sure. Some people were literally scared. Like I remember some guys I talked to back in the day had a lot of hex. Yeah, Miguel, I'm just I've got one stake every other year. I'm like, what? So I mean, I'm probably more in the camp of like I think quarterlies are probably the best if you can afford them. But one hex stake a year, if that's all you can do, that's perfectly fine. But when I was talking about that little insult I was talking about earlier, that was for like guys who had like millions of hex. You know, he had tons. So they were putting 15 million, 8 million, 7 million in one stake, like, which is fine. But like, you know what I mean? It's a lot of like. They made that cookie jar very gigantic, and then this is something me and RG3 from Discord Syndicate were always like, you got to put some stuff out there to protect yourself. Like someone like GT from like the Hex community, he came up with this was actually pretty smart. Like everyone's creating these Quattro Cinco stakes, these 555 stakes, and which is perfect, right? You have a 5555 stake, cool, but they wouldn't create a 7.5 year stake. And people ask me, why is 7.5 year stake? Because what happens in 7.5 years, what if Hex, what let's just say, knock on wood, please God, but like 7.5 years from now, Hex is like $20, $40. Damn, that stake looking nice. That's looking juicy right there. Real juicy. And there's no penalty. Hey, Miguel, there's no penalty, man. I mean, hey, dude, just unstake it, bro. You should just buy yourself a house, bro. It's like, maybe your mama deserves a house, man. Come on. Like, and so what I always did in my staking ladder, especially like, obviously I try, everyone, I have to like, when I do consultations with people, I always do very bespoke things depending on how much you have. Sometimes you have a very small amount and we just have to do it. It just is what it is. It's just, we got to be like, boom, 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 like that. That's it. But when you have a lot more Hex, we can be more flexible and I'm able to like, provide like pressure release valves at all times, because like one thing that RG and me did and stuff was like our 15-year stakes. Like some people would just throw out a big one on 15 year, which is fine, the 555. One thing that we did, which was smart, is split. So let's just say you had 1 million Hex. Why not just put 4.25 million Hex stakes out there? This was as an example to you guys, because if you ever did need the money where you're in big trouble, you didn't have to unstake the whole 1 million. You could maybe take 3/4 of it. At least you still have one. You know what I mean? That optionality is what people weren't really thinking about before. Obviously, like these strategies came out after 6-7 months of us fucking around with it. But like during those 7 months, we still had the ability to use Texas well under a penny. We're talking about 22% of a penny, 22% of a penny, stuff like that, or even lower. But at the same time too, like it was just like we're just like crackheads. Stuff like people like, oh yeah, you guys, sure, 15 years, oh yeah, like everyone calling you scammers and shit. So it's like honestly, like the success Hex has had and will continue to have is like pretty. It's pretty well deserved for a lot of the OG Hex, because we took a lot of shit for like believing in Hex basically, and on any project. I mean, dude, like on average, right? Like the average person around the world doesn't even believe in crypto. So I mean, like they're already fucking lost. But yeah, I hope I answered your question. I think that was a little long-winded. My bad.
So with PulseChain coming out, do you think that like stakes are going to be less time on there just because ETH fees are killing our stakes right now?
Wait, say that again. So like this, our stakes.
So like the average stake length will be lower on PulseChain.
Yeah, we'll have a lower. Well, let me see. We'll have smaller. Okay, so I think the stake length is going to be going up on both.
Okay.
It's going to cost nothing to do a stake. Basically, goddamn, sorry. You can do a p-hex stake, for 1,000. I'm just calling it PulseChain hex. You can do 1,000 PulseChain hex stake. 15,000 hex will make you a 15-year ladder, basically. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend you could do it, and I think it's going to be economically viable for all times. But like regardless, I still would try to get a higher number than that. Obviously, it's just just in case. Like I've seen people like I remember when Hex first came out, it was so cheap, it was a penny in terms of gas fees on Ethereum. It's possible that like PulseChain became so popular the gas fees started going up, which is actually very good for all of us, right? Because we make money because we're early investors, VC investors, basically in the projects. But so you have to also like remember, like always try to have some heft and size to your positions, basically. But
yeah, I don't know if the average stake length is going to go down, but I think what it's going to open up is the ability for people who are B share class, you really can't afford a bunch of T shares, to form B share ladders.
Yep.
Just like what you have with your T shares, and it's really going to open up a lot for smaller investors who can then build a proper ladder, maybe a twice a year maturation or a quarterly maturation out for 10 years, but you don't have to put in so much cash outlay to get that.
So I think the length of both chains will be probably an average of 8 years. That's what I think we're heading towards. Okay, on both chains. The main difference between the both chains is I think Ethereum Hex for a while is going to become mostly a whale game, eHex, and so your hat disappeared. But so what I think is going to happen is the size of the stakes are going to be larger. So we're probably going to have something like probably 100,000, maybe 80,000 hex minimum stake probably happening on eHex at some point. And we're probably having an average like stake size of like 5,000 pHex probably on the PulseChain side. I think that's going to be so. We're going to have more of a minnow game on the PulseChain side, and then we're going to have more of a larger whale T-shirt buying game on the eHex side. And like I'm going to play both sides. But it's the sort of thing like one big opportunity is if those pHex prices are low, man, like I'm gonna snatch a lot up, basically. Like if for some reason the peg breaks and it goes really like low, like let's say like the price of hex is like 25 cents, and then the price of pHex is like 5 cents. Fuck, I'm gonna snatch some up basically. And stake out and get myself a ton of more T shares on one side, and then basically I'm going to be heavy on this on the pHex side at one point, and then at some point pHex goes really strong. I start selling them off and buying a ton of Ethereum hex and staking it out, and then even out my T-shirt. Right, that way I'm basically trying to. Me as an OG, I'm trying to protect my downside from like which I don't know which side's going to win, so I'm just going to get both of them and just hedge my bets, and get richer in both systems in a way. It's essentially ratio trading, and in a very the lazy ratio trade really wins over time as long as you're just not like you just have to be not in a hurry. Basically, you just got to be playing long term, just like a little boom, a little boom. You only really take profits at like all time highs. Like holy fuck, like my pHex today just hit 80% of the price of hex today. Holy fuck, I've never seen it this high before. And then you swap into eHex, and then the price crashes, and you can just jump right back. But like. You just it's the sort of thing where you don't. It's like you just buy and hold and just make good decisions, or at the very least, I do get annoyed when people say that they don't trade or something. It's not really trading. You're evaluating the market currently as it is, and then allocating your capital at the most efficient place during that point in time, right? So there's a point. Even if you don't invest, even if you don't swing trade or anything like that, you are in a way like looking like where can my dollar get? Where my $100 bill get me more hex or pHex? Which one is it? Actually, right now, eHex is super cheap today. You know what? And then you'll end up holding eHex that day because it's the better value, basically. People are going to be sort of doing that and flip-flopping between them both, basically. Yeah.
So, in your opinion, for both eHex and pHex, how much should you leave unstaked to have the ability to slosh around? Not in financial advice, of course.
Not financial advice, of course. Financial advice. No financial advice. Basically, I'd have to ask first. Do you have any I'd have to ask the person. Do you even care about staking? And if the person tells me, "Fuck no," some people are like, "Bro, I just want to hold liquid." All right, that's just what it is. I'm sorry for you, but it just is what it is. But more than likely, it's I do believe. It's different because like I've been in hex for a while, so like obviously I'm going to be like 95% staked basically versus liquid, always. But a person that's starting off today, they should probably be something like 30% liquid, 70% staked, something like that. You need to have liquid. Like, how the fuck are you gonna take profits unless you got the stake coming up very soon, right? So you can try unless you have enough p hex or Ethereum hex where you have a stake coming out every month, right? That you're always liquid. That's one strategy which can work. But most people, like, there's gonna be a point in time where you have the stakes that are coming out and you're gonna miss the all-time high. So you need liquid hex, and this is like, I think, a big mistake that a lot of like OG hexagons do, and especially guys who are trying to like be bigger than they are. You know, it's like keeping up with the like. There's I call these guys ghost sharks, ghost dolphins, and stuff like that. Where like there's these dudes who are there. I mean, I'm really trying not to like say anything terribly here because like I fuck with them heavy because they're pumping my bags. But their average stake length is like 11, 13, 14 years, and like and if they have like a very little bit of liquid. And it's like, but their T-shares are super on Brawly, basically, are all 3x'd out and stuff from doing all 10 to 15 year stakes. They have all these T-shares, right? So let's just say like, oh, fuck, you have 1,000 T-shares or 500 T-shares or 100 T-shares. But you have none of it coming at all. So it's kind of paper wealth. It's hollow whales, yeah. And this is something like I came up with, what was it, like, back on the Discord Syndicate. Like, this is like one of the, I don't know if I forgot which one. We got an archive, dude. I came up with some crazy shit over the years, man. I've come up with a lot of like theories and stuff like that. I just got to look through all those videos and stuff. But basically, there's a lot of people like how much T-shirts you got? Yeah, I mean, bro, I've got like 500. Damn, dude, holy fuck, yeah. When in reality, they probably have the purchasing power of maybe like 45, realistically, or less. Because they've thrown it all out there to look like this whole thing. Everybody in Hex right now, and I love everybody, but like it's this whole game of like everyone's trying to make themselves out like they're the grand. There's a big competition for like clout right now in the space between like the OGers versus like the new wave guys, and then now the Pulse. Now there's like Pulse YouTube. Like it's all the YouTubers, all the Hex YouTubers are kind of like all secretly fighting with each other, and then people are having different conferences. It's fucking hilarious, dude. But it's kind of fucked too. So it's there's a lot of that, and then everybody who's in Hex, who's like all in on Hex, they want to be like, how the fuck can I make myself like super like one of the OGs or something like that? Like, so it's like it's you guys ever heard of it's holier than thou? Or like you know, it's like thou protest too much, or it's like this whole thing where like these dudes are trying to show how Hex they are, that they take the Hex like doctrine to like fucking the nth degree too much, when like most OGs are just pretty much more chillaxed than that. At least half of them are. Some of them are kind of anal, honestly.
Like when people say it's a snapshot or it's a fork, not a snapshot, and they go crazy about
that.
Like
that stuff. It's like,
doesn't really matter.
It's the same shit, motherfuckers. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? You know, and it's that same thing too, where like it's like you know, like I talked to some guys and they're like, yo, you have to 5-5-5. Like, you couldn't bully me into 5-5-5 everything. What the fuck wrong with you, bro? I don't give a fuck. It's got. I will say that's my superpower, honestly, in the community, is like because I like we're one of the first 4 like YouTubers and stuff, or Hex and stuff, that like honestly like none of the new Hexagons can bully me into nothing.
I kind of see it as kind of like the same way you see like different denominations between churches, but really they only like see like 1 or 2 things different, but that they're completely separate from these other people, you know. So
they're the other like they believe in Jesus, but we don't celebrate on the 7th, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it really is like it's a bunch of Christian different like religions and stuff. They're all Christian, Jewish and stuff like but like like I'm Protestant. No, I'm Catholic. Maybe no. I'm like I don't know, Seventh-day Baptist or whatever. You know? and that's kind of what it is, and that's what why me and Charlie always pull out the whole thing with like being quite agnostic. Obviously, like I fuck with Hex heavy. I would be sad if something bad happened to it. I'd be like, fuck, man. But it's the sort of thing where like at the end of the day, you got to remember what you came in for. You came into like crypto to make money, you know. So, but hey, man, we can make some friends along the way. So why not, you know?
Right on.
Hey Miguel, I was thinking. I mean, this is probably wrong, but I was just thinking about like the sacrifice for Pulse and Pulse X, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say that $1 billion was sacrificed for Pulse or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking that in order for us to hit price parity, and then forget about all the multipliers. Let's just say everybody has a 1x multiplier, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever it is, right? In order for us to get to price parity, we have to hit $1 billion in liquidity, in liquidity in order for us to hit price parity. And I just wanted to ask if I'm thinking about that right or wrong. Or I mean, $1 billion injected into the Pulse, I guess Pulse
So
chain.
you're saying other than the hex sacrifices, you're talking about the other money.
Let's just say everything that was sacrificed was $1 billion. Let's just say that to make it easy, right?
Right. So I think you need less liquidity. So I think we're more than well funded on PulseChain side.
Yep.
Honestly, it's the side that needs the most money is the PulseX side because it's literally the yield farm side. So you need a shit ton of liquidity. So
we can.
So yeah, that's why I actually wasn't surprised at the. I'm pretty sure there's some little like talks in the background like that. Remember the big whale? Not the one that happened this morning at $37 million, but the one before that was like 29 million, if I remember correctly. Like he sacked like $30 million, and then the price of Ethereum dropped a little bit. Yeah, 29 million. Fucking A, dude, fucking ETH. But I mean, he got rid of it just in time, dude. That shit dropped another. It's like what's it at right now? Like ETH is like, was it like 3,000? Yeah, 31. But basically, I mean, there probably was a little talk like, "Hey, we need some more money," and so like that dude, like he's by that whale sacrificing. Some people got like, "Why didn't you sacrifice Hex?" Yeah, it would have been nice to pump the price, but that $30 million that he sacrificed, just $30 million of liquidity that's going to be throughout the whole thing. That's very beneficial to provide liquidity and stuff. So that could probably supply for about I would say 15 pairs, almost with $2 million of liquidity. That's enough. That's actually a decent amount of liquidity, which should allow prices to go up. So that's a decent amount of money there. And if you look at the chain, right, if you pull up like I don't know, Hex, Mike could probably pull it up in a minute. We're gonna pull sacrifice. No, wrong one. Yeah. So let me share my screen real quick. Yeah, like right here, right? I mean, we've got $129 million of Ethereum. Shoo! That's a good amount, right? So what really matters, the Hex doesn't matter really. I mean, the Hex matters for us because this could allow the Hex to pump in price. This is good. Supply shock. But this right here, it's what's really going to fund PulseX. That's the ecosystem. That's the real ecosystem money right there. So if we just add that up roughly, we've got probably like $200 million of capital as of right now, and we still got like 19 hours to go, and then we got the rest of the month. And from what I can tell from interviews, Richard's going to be doing. So Richard's going to be doing a ton of interviews like right after this part right here, the rate increase. So we're probably going to get a shit ton of people, shacking SIBA and the other day some dude sacrificed 10 Ethereum to PulseChain sacrifice. Which was like he was paying like 44 cents per 10,000 points, or like a crazy amount because like obviously you guys know that there's a huge supply for PulseChain, so like that the price has to get to 44 cents per PulseChain token for him to break even. I'm like, dude, who is telling people this? Like that's fucking crazy, dude. So yeah. It's pretty insane and stuff. Obviously, the Hex number is very important, I believe. Of course, the beautiful thing is that Hex will never hurt the price; it'll never dump down. So a lot of that actually would have hurt the price because a lot of that is people's stakes coming undone. The LG Hexagon money, in terms of interest payments as well as principal, that's got sacrificed. So now that's not getting dumped on the market. Nice. Those are the whales throwing in, and other people throwing in, and regular small guys buying 5,000, 25,000, 50,000, 100,000 Hex for the first time, and then sacrificing that's getting taken up straight off the liquidity, and then some whale sells it down. But like as the whales keep selling it down, they keep losing position because the small guys buy it up, and then unless they want liquidity or whatever. But like if I was a whale, I'm like, why the fuck would I be selling Hex right now if I know it's going to go to $1 to $5? Like at 25 cents, it's pretty stupid, honestly. It's like you're giving up like You're giving up something like basically a 20x. If we do hit $5 at some point, maybe it takes a year, 2 years, 3 years. But like, if we do hit $5, I mean, that's a 20 times on your capital. And if you're a whale already, like, well, it's like, I don't know, like $10 million liquid, you're talking about $200 million you're giving up on. You know, I mean, quarter of a billion. That's that's a lot, you know. But yeah, hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell, and yeah. Yep. Cool, man. Let me see something in the chat.
ECC?
Yeah, for sure.
We need to ask the real question here. When will we get that intro theme song being published?
Oh, the intro. It's actually up on my channel already, dude. Yeah, if you go back on my channel, it's my actual intro video. Like, I could probably go to my YouTube right now. Let me see what if I want to cause Inception. Let me see my channel. Okay, let's take a look real quick. If you look right here, the actual intro is, let's see, where is it? I just saw it the other day here. Where did I leave it? Unless my YouTube dude took it down. I don't think so.
Oh, I think I just saw it.
Yeah. Oh, right here. Pump. No, that's not it. What the hell? I swear I just saw it the other day. Like, I have it. I do have it on my channel. Here it is. Dollar cost intro right here.
Yeah.
Right here. Yeah. So I'll throw the link up to that. So. So there you go, you guys. But I'm actually going to do a little. I've got a little surprise for the future for that. Actually, I'm not going to say when, but I'm going to post a very special intro. Probably in a few weeks, just for you guys. So there you go.
Classic.
But yeah, man. Anybody have any more questions?
Actually, I was going to ask. I don't know if you guys already talked about this because I came in late. But not hex related or whatnot, but more about Alluvium. So I was just reading a message from Kieran about how the land sale is going to be delayed because of the hack and all of that. So, you know, let's say the land sale happens and whatnot. How will the land sale affect the price of Alluvium? Because obviously the price of Alluvium right now is dropping. And in Charlie's last podcast, he said it could go down to $500. Let's say it does go down to $500. What is the land sale going to do for the price of Alluvium?
It's going to take us back to all-time highs. We'll probably be back at $1,800 to $2,500 on the price. So it could do a really big resurgence, basically, to the price
because of the land sale.
Yeah, it's just a lot of misinformed people. People hear land sale and they're going to end up buying Alluvium for the first time or just getting into it as an investment to yield farm as well for LP and stuff. So it's going to have a lot of people buy up the coin basically. So there's going to be a lot of half of it's going to be misinformed investors thinking they're going to buy Alluvium in order to buy land, and then and figuring out that doesn't work. And then other people like, fuck, Alluvium's the next thing in the world because you obviously it's like people believe the hype and stuff, and like it is. There really is good hype and stuff on it, and there's really good, like, I do believe it's got a good long-term mission and it can actually do very well. But people are really going to be like, holy fuck, this thing is insane. This thing's insane. They end up buying a bunch of Alluvium and staking it in an LP or locking it up for a year, and then this will drive the price up basically. So I do expect sort of a $1,500 price basically, and maybe a day there where the price spikes up into the 2000s for the land sale. The hack was pretty unfortunate and stuff. The hackers, I don't know if I got the numbers 100% right, but like the hackers managed to print like 8,000 Alluvium and they stole like 340-ish ETH, and then the guys at Alluvium, they printed something like, how many? Like I think 1 million fucking SLP or something, and then they dumped it all in the market and then stole back 143 tokens or Ethereum tokens that were left in the liquidity pool, and which are going to return to everybody. So when the V2 staking contract comes out, there's been a snapshot already. So if you already had SILV in your wallets, you're going to get the exact amount of SILV you have right now. That actually you can trade them in a secondary market again. But they're just refitting the whole contract and stuff. But it's just fucking unfortunate. But realistically, like that SILV is pretty much there, so you can buy land, which is going to be used for it, because so in technicality, we really haven't lost much value other than just the ability to trade out of it, basically. So yeah.
How do they value it at that point? Because I have some SILV and it's 80 cents right now.
No, you do not buy any of that.
No,
stuff.
I know.
Yeah, it's worth it. Yeah.
Someone's buying it or something. Something's happening.
Uninformed people, it's like they will not get nothing towards the unless there's some insider shit that we don't know about. But no one's getting any more credit for the snapshot, basically for the SILV, basically for buying SILV.
So they take the snapshot. Do they give us? Are they going to reimburse us the value at that?
Yeah. So the value of SILV is always just the value of Alluvium. So if
it fluctuates independently.
Yeah, it fluctuates independently. But if you're using SILV to buy land, whatever the Alluvium price is, it's 1 for 1. Right. So that's what they mean. So like right now, like the price is down at $700, but my SILV is still worth the same amount, equal to SILV.
In the land sale, yeah.
In the land sale, yeah, which is what I was gonna use about like maybe. I was going to use half of it for land, and half I was going to take profits on it. Basically, it was my strategy. I think I'm very confident I'm still going to be able to. So I'm not really tripping about it, because, like I said, right, my main strategy, and this is going to be a big cornerstone in the courses as well, as like we have these kind of sit back and yield farm chill strategies have been working out very, very well. Like Alluvium, right? Even though Alluvium's crashed and we're like, oh no, like I'm totally in profit. I'm so in profit.
Oh yeah, Alluvium's been unreal. Like I went into that pool, the LP pool.
It's phenomenal.
Every day.
Like, yeah. Whoa. So I have all this locked up ILV. I have SILV. So I have a bunch of SILV, a bunch of ILV, and then on top of that, I have still all my Ethereum Alluvium LPs as well. So I've got three baskets of wealth generated from one basket. So I could just at some point, if I ever want to just get, like right now, I could, if I wanted to get out of Alluvium, I just get I'll just unstake, like, because I showed you guys half of my stuff was staked out for about almost a year. The other half was like liquid. I can just take the liquid side, liquidate it, get all my original capital back, and then some, and then have all this Alluvium that's staked away for a year that's vested, or in the other pool, and then I have the SILV for land. So it's a sort of thing, like there's these strategies that me and Charlie are implementing that we're going to be teaching in the course and stuff, where like you can sit in some of these projects because the yield's high enough, and you can basically free coins, position paid for, de-risk everything. It's nothing but profit, basically. And then you can just sit tight, and it makes it very easy to hold positions at that point and stuff like that. That's what I did with Tomb.finance, Alluvium. There's some other ones I want to talk about too. I'll talk about it in the course and stuff. But there's like 2 other ones I'm doing this, and there's a new one that I haven't even told. I've never even in consultations. I've barely gone into it for about a couple weeks, making sure that I can figure out all the bugs, so you guys don't get hurt, basically. Because like that's a big thing. Like one of the reasons why I don't mention some of the pools that I'm in, because like sometimes I jump into something and I lose cash. I'm like, fuck, that's a ripoff, you know. So I have to battle test and test out stuff to make sure that it works, and then I can tell you guys about it, and then the opportunities there. Yeah, there's a lot of GameFi stuff coming up as well. The GameFi. Somebody thought I meant the GameFi token. No, I mean game. That just means games with coins, basically tokenomics stuff. Yeah, I'm not just talking about a coin called GameFi. But
have you heard how long it's going to take them to get? Because they said they won't release any more SILV until V2 staking starts.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
They said they won't release any more SILV until the V2 staking.
Yeah, because the contract's broken. Yeah,
they're saying that they want the V2 staking to be out before the land sale, so you will be able to claim some of your SILV if you want, before that.
Yeah.
And then also,
I think V2 staking is live because just a week and a half ago, I was able to claim from just the Sushi LP. I didn't have to claim my other. Before you had to claim both your LP.
Them, yeah. And that only works on the SLV side. That only worked on the SLV side. If you try to do it on the ILV side, it makes you.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why it was different. Yeah, because that's true. Because I would have only been taking the major payout one, not the other one, until like the ILV got big enough on the other one to make it like economically viable. Because I was getting real tired of paying like it was a lot of money, so I was fine with it. But like fuck, $600 gas fees all the time, $800. I'm like, damn, every week. That was rough.
Also, when Vijay, your question about how it would help the land sale. So another fundamental is any money that they realize from the land sale, like let's say all the SLV is spent and then people have to start spending Ethereum, then they will actually get to test out their revenue distribution system. So that will also be another fundamental. People will actually get to see that, oh, now I can actually make money off of the tokens I'm staking. So when all the emissions are gone of ILV tokens, people will now get, because it's a distribution token at the end of the day, so yeah.
Yeah, Kieran was also talking about possibly doing a fundraiser as well.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
That was crazy.
He's trying to fundraise about $250 million. Or that sounds more than it is, but it's a lot of money. $250 million. $250 million. And what he's planning to do is because there's just people who bought Alluvium at $1 or $3 or $6. That even at $700, it's 100x plus. So what they're planning to do is contacting a lot of the OGs. I do know that Santiago Capital and Karen are some of the two biggest whales in the ecosystem. So they're probably not going to sell. So that's fine. But what they're going to do is take 150 million of those dollars and allow people to sell them the Alluvium back to them OTC. So it does not dump the price. But that's pretty cool. But I still believe we'll still get a nice crash at some point. So we're going to get a nice run up on Alluvium at some point. Just so you guys kind of sit back, keep LPing it and stuff, and just kind of like sit back and chill, like yield farming it. Like, at some point you'll take some nice profits on that. Like I will be announcing when I take profits. Basically, I wasn't going to take profit until like we got very close to the land sale or like in the middle of the land sale. Basically, I was going to take my first profits on Alluvium, but now I just wait a little bit longer. But I'm still LPing still even now. And regardless or not, like I had LPs, I had a 42 week locked LP from like September and stuff that I still have. So regardless, even if I liquidated everything, I'm still locked in on that 42 week LP anyway. So I'm strapped to this ride with you guys.
So just a little update that Kieran gave an hour ago. He said that 150K in funds was stolen from 41 wallets, but they weren't sure exactly if that's the exact number because some might be the scammers. And then he said also that the regarding the V2 contracts will be on hold, as well as the land sale till they figure out whatever. Another thing which is pretty interesting to me is they said that they found out that the scammer has an account with KuCoin, and they said they're in touch with KuCoin about that. So in your estimation, would KuCoin give the scammer up to Alluvium to be like, hey, you have to do something, like, you're in trouble?
I don't know, honestly. He would have to have a fully doxed account on KuCoin. If it's just a nameless account or whatever, then like.
But would KuCoin freeze that account?
They probably could freeze it. I don't know if they would release his identity though. In terms of like, I'm pretty sure they could freeze it. They could freeze his account and stuff, but who knows? I mean, it's kind of crazy. He only has one exchange, which is kind of wild to me. KuCoin doesn't require KYC, but you can actually fully dox yourself on there actually and have like full KYC on KuCoin as well. So if he has a full KuCoin account, and so I've never heard of a case of KuCoin doing that, honestly. So if they do, that sets a precedent, of like they can do that now and stuff. It'd be awesome for us though, but it's very it's a slippery slope as well, with like KuCoin. But at the same time too, you're hurting a bad guy too. So it's like, I don't know.
Also good. Oh, good.
Well, I was just gonna say it's kind of the same thing though when it comes to, like, I guess why the government doesn't like non-KYC, in the sense that terrorists can use it to send money to each other, and whatnot. So I guess you could sort of say it's the same realm. It may not be this guy's a terrorist or whatnot, but I'm just saying like a scammer versus, bad is bad, right?
Well, most of it's not really to protect us from. You're right. Yeah. Like if it was only being used for that purpose, I think most people would be cool with it. But the real reason it's all KYC is just they're trying to get their fucking tax money from you. I mean, that's real. At the end of the day, it's like they're trying to fuck you up on 30-40% taxes, which you should. That's fucking high as fuck. But you gotta pay your taxes. Pay your taxes, you guys. But like, oof, fuck, man. That's.
Yeah, going back to what you were saying, DCC, about that fundraiser that Kieran is doing, you guys don't know how crazy that's gonna be, because all of those people, like you said, that bought at $1, that were doing they're doing the family friend round, those were gonna become unlocked in March when the game was gonna go live. So you're gonna have two things. One is gonna be buying pressure if the game is really good, it push the price up, but also selling pressure from people who bought it at $1. Now they fucking 8,000x their or 1,000x their stack. So
even the thing in March got delayed. It should be delayed now too and stuff, because it's they were even the March release of coins was not set in stone still, because you have to vote on it and stuff too. So hopefully it's all I would be pretty dope. I'd be pretty dope if those coins didn't unlock until even later, which would be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Because I realistically, the way I would have done it, if I was Kieran and I could maybe do it, I'd be V2 staking, then land sale, then launch of game on the same day, or maybe launch a game, then the next day you can release coins, something like that. So then with the game launched, you have enough new people coming in that these guys can fucking liquidate their shit and get the fuck out, basically.
Yeah.
And everyone can cash. So there's enough they can offset. Why would you I never understood why they would you should release those coins once game is launched.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they releasing coins beforehand? I get everyone wants to consider profits and stuff, but this is the thing of being a VC. That's why if I was a VC investor, I would buy the seed round and stuff, but I also still would buy the main. I think they came out their sushi swapper bouncer or something. I can't remember which. I think it was sushi. I would buy the sushi original investment as well, because I can have liquid to take profits and do the run up with everybody else in the community, basically, right? So that's the way I think that's the most fair, as well as you have the highest chance of price appreciation, as well as the price holding up as high as possible for the longest, because when the game launches, everyone's going crazy, the buying pressure, the price is like this, and then whales can just start dumping their coins, and then it's offset by all the new people coming in, so maybe the price just stays kind of muddied in the middle there, and then eventually everyone's taking profits, and then we're just off to new all-time highs after all the selling. Everyone's taking profits, plus the $150 million there too, buying as well, OTC. That would be the perfect way. If I were Kieran, dude, that's the way I would do it. Fucking V2 staking, land sale, game launch, not the first day, the second day, having the coins unlocked for people, and then from there, and then I'll maybe a little bit before the game launches, in between the game launch and stuff like that, I'd probably have the $150 million OTC purchase thing, and then game launch. Then that's enough there that you still would get some price dips probably on the price, because a lot of people are selling, but you did basically everything you could to protect
plus
them.
revenue didistribution is live.
Plus revenue distribution, yeah.
That's
if I was running a game studio, you guys in DCC you trust, you guys, come on.
Off topic question, is the only way you can get your money turn whatever coin into cash is through an exchange?
Cash in the bank or USDC?
Cash in the bank.
Yeah, basically. Well,
we got some rich friends.
Yeah, right. It's obviously I'm not condoning this, but I guess an OTC deal or something like that. Maybe hey, bro, here, give me 15 grand and I'll give you a bunch of Ethereum. All right, dude, done. And
so
that.
Well, you can sell Celsius too. You can sell Cell Token to Celsius OTC real easily if you're accredited. Yeah. You may be able to sell
a loan on Celsius too.
Take a loan.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because, so for example, if I'm a scammer and I scam you guys out of coins, and no, but what I'm saying is you can see what the address it goes to, right? And then from that address, you can see where it goes to from there. So eventually it has to get, for me to get that cash, doesn't it have to go to an exchange? And then at that point, you can be like, what the hell is going to this exchange? And then from that exchange is going into that bank account. So now I know who you are, or I can find out who you are or whatever.
If they're terrible at their job, basically, yeah. There's ways to do mixers and stuff, but a lot of there's some mixers that aren't that good either because there's not that much money in them either. Stuff like even the tornado.cash, I don't even think it's got that much money in it, really. So it's like basically the way I figured. I mean, obviously I don't know this, but like from what I've heard in the streets, the way people are doing it is they've got deals with like overseas exchanges that'll take the cash into a master wallet and they'll cash you out and they'll basically tax you as well. So like there's like I think Huobi was pretty famous for this, as well as a couple other exchanges in Southeast Asia where you would send funds there and then they would basically take a 35% tax off of your stolen funds or 40% and cash you out through like a Hong Kong bank or a Singapore bank, basically. And
that hot Chinese money wants that crypto.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then the Chinese don't care, so it's like, you know, just like that. And then that, but you still are getting taxed, which is fucking hilarious. So even when you steal the money, you're getting taxed 35-40%. No matter what the government gets their bucket, or what some government gets their due on that cash, which is fucked. But yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Anyone have any last questions and stuff?
Yeah, I got one. So I think there's like a lot of people who were able to get into the PulseX sacrifice, but not like the PulseChain. So what do you recommend as far as like getting into both or just staying in one?
Oh, you probably should have an allocation in all the main tokens, basically. It's just hopefully waiting for a for kind of a dip down, basically in one of the prices and stuff. We're like, if not, this is current right here. Basically, we're gonna have 3 days where the price is gonna be at 0. 3 days only, and then trading commences. Maybe Richard changes it to 7. I think it would be pretty cool if it was 7 days because that's enough time. I feel 3 is a little short, honestly, but the longer they keep the bridge not open, the more you can get very, very dangerous dips. Very dangerous dips and stuff because things can get really like weird. So if you have a lot of PulseX, and I'll talk more about how strong I think PulseX will be relative to other stuff, because there'll be some big volatility in PulseX, if I'm being honest. So getting some p-hex is going to be very important as well. Getting that copy and that snapshot there, because I think p-hex and hex are going to be pretty strong. P-hex is going to be pretty strong. And Pulse is going to be very strong, and I think the weaker 2 pairs are going to be Hex and PulseX, actually, just for the reasons you're saying, because people are trying to get into those coins in order to get into some PulseChain tokens as well. So I'm gonna have a little diagram basically explaining at least my game theory of like which is like pros cons on all the coins and what I kind of think, and then you guys can read off the list during the course and stuff of seeing like what's the pros and cons and stuff like. From what I can tell right now, like PulseChain is probably going to be one of the stronger ones, but it also I don't think it will go up as much. Actually, there's going to be like a lot of different. There's going to be a lot of like during those first 3 days, and then afterwards, that's a whole different story and stuff. So I've got stuff kind of breaking down into multiple phases of where I think things are going to go. Possible ratio trades if you guys want to do that. If not, you guys can just use the ratio just to get yourself the initial position, and then you sit tight and you're good. You may decide like, you know what, I'm going to sell 30% of my stack into PulseChain just because I want PulseChain, and you just buy it and you sit tight now at that point, and then you see where things are going. And if for some reason the PulseChain ratio goes up really high and you can get a ton of p-hex, fuck it, let's go. And you maybe take half the stack there, and it's the sort of thing where like these are all infinity stones basically. So all the infinity stones are they're all pretty. So if you're able to kind of play it long term, you should be able to like, it's like holding like DOT for like, oh no, I'm stuck holding DOT. What am I going to do with my life? Fuck no, I'm broke forever. And then eventually DOT gets strong, and then you can just get Kusama or the other coins, and then you're up basically. Yeah.
Will they have LP pools for like PulseX, Pulse?
Yes.
PulseX, Hex, and all of them, yeah, all the combinations.
Yeah, they'll have all the combos. I think the if I got the ratios correct, it's going to be sort of someone's going to have to set. It's going to be really interesting. I don't know exactly how they're going to end up doing it. Like I have an idea in my head of how they're going to do it. Like people are going to provide like P hex in this. It's going to be really janky ones like Pulse P hex, because there's only 3 tokens basically when it launches, or I guess there's more, but technically there's 3. There's Pulse, P hex, and Pulse X. That's it. So just those 3 tokens. So you'll have like 9 combinations probably of the 3. I think 3. So it'll be 9 combinations roughly, and from there there'll be different ratios depending on how much probably capital is on one side, and that'll determine the ratio. And then as more people are buying it up, I think that's how it's going to be basically. It's going to be.
How did they decide on the APY that would pay out?
Oh, in the beginning, I don't think the APY. I don't think the APY. If I have it correctly, there will be no APY during the first 3 days. So until Ethereum comes in, because it's the yield farming stuff, so they want to incentivize yield farming. So when the money bridges over, that's when the yield farming starts, and that's when the Pancake Swap token gets created at that point to incentivize yield farming, because you want the Ethereum money that bridges up. Because as soon as the bridge is open, then I can bridge over my EHEX, and then EHEX is over there, and then I put it with PHEX, choom, and then right then that creates an APY, and then you can earn some serious money at that point, basically.
So when we get the snapshot, we're gonna have, because I have liquid hex, EHEX, and then I'm gonna have a snapshot of PHEX.
Yeah.
But is the PHEX will start with no value, right?
Everything starts with no. It will for those 3 days, and there's no value for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could I
but you only have the copy side. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have the Ethereum side to bridge over. So technically, there's no yield farming. There's just ratio trading. That's it for 3 days.
So could I bridge but after that, can I bridge my EHEX over to Pulse?
Yeah.
You can bridge it over.
Yeah, after 3 days. Yeah. That's when price discovery happens. Real price discovery in dollars. Boom. And then because Richard is the main whale in the ecosystem, or not the main whale, I'm sorry, the what do you call it?
Poseidon?
No, the Poseidon. No. He's the
The founder?
No. He's running the nodes. He's the nodes. He's all the nodes and stuff. So he's all the miners technically. So the first transaction that happens, the first transaction sets the price. So he could set the price to like parity on everything actually, on most of the pairs. So it's gonna be so boom, boom, boom. So when all the cash comes out, they will because he's all the nodes. Even though money's transferring over, no one's gonna be able to do anything until he does the first transaction. As soon as he does the first transaction, liquidity driver, boom, it turns on basically. And then from there, the prices, let's just say the price of PHEX and EHEX are at the same price, and then from there they start going like this. And then we just figure out what happens from there.
So I've got a question with the 3 days trading with no price discovery. The thing is, because both Pulse and Pulse X are deflationary, and every time you transact, it burns itself. Would that change the ratios constantly?
A tiny bit, but I don't think it's enough in 3 days to make that big of a difference. It'd be like if we were lucky, if it burned 1% of the supply because everyone was trading like fucking maniacs or something like that. But I doubt it wouldn't burn that much during the time. So it's not going to change the stuff too much. It's going to be more demand, really. So if the swap has everyone's buying PHEX for some reason, and the PHEX supply is low, the ratio means it's really high. That means if you sell PHEX for anything else, it's like the fat kid on the swing. Or the fat kid on the teeter tot. He's super heavy. So you can when he sells into another coin, you get a huge amount of coins for the other ratio. That's how I'm thinking it's gonna be in that sort of system, because it's gonna be the most simplistic, simple jack trading during that time. So it's real. I think it's actually going to be based on supply of coins versus each other. I think that's how the ratio is going to play. But yeah, man. We'll definitely go back into. I'll save it for the course, man. There's more coming.
How long do you think it'll take to get to a penny? A year?
Oh, which one?
Either one. Pulse X.
I have to see full supply, and I know people out there until I know the real supply. I want to have all the information before I fucking speculate. I'm not going to speculate on shit until everything. I got all the information, because when I do make price calls and everything like that, honestly, every price call I've ever made, was literally with taking into factor supply, whales, like power, like how exchanges. It's, I mean, like so much, a ton of information. Sometimes you guys do catch me on the ball a little bit, like, hey, what do you think the moon math is for this? I'll give a little rough approximation or something. But like when I really dug down onto projects and stuff and really like gave a price appreciation, or like kind of like where I thought it's possible in ranges, like I put a lot of math into it. The only time it hasn't really worked out is just when it's like there's a third party probably secretly selling. There's like some hidden, some hidden sort of thing like that we don't know about. Like maybe there's a market manipulator actually selling the prices down that we didn't know, that nobody knew about, basically. But anytime there isn't any manipulation like that at that level, the prices have been like fucking dead on every time. Like, and I've got some heat to talk shit about Ethereum in the course as well. Like I got some, me and Charlie have been like having come to Jesus moments on a lot of shit, on a lot of stuff, and like it's kind of hilarious. Like, and I don't mean to be cocky on this. Like, I have not missed on any coin outside of Ethereum. Like in terms of if there's an investment that's not in Ethereum, it's like on AVAX or like Phantom or Solana or something. Man, I've been hitting it out of the park nonstop. Like it's fucking, I'm batting like 1,000. On Ethereum though, like bro, like Ethereum's a cursed wound. Like everything you touch on Ethereum is just, you're gonna lose money. Like it's fucking terrible. It's other than like Hex. Hex is like the exception in Ethereum itself, but like, fuck, man, it's like, it's horrible. It's like the gas fees are so terrible that it's stopping all the trading and stuff. So it's traders trading as traders, basically. Yeah. So it's insane, dude. It's like, you like there's some great like the liquidity token I told you about. It was incredible, but whales fucked it. And even the founder of Liquidity said it himself as well, that like, fuck, man, I wish he had done he wished he had done the token distribution differently a little bit, because the whales just kept perma dumping it into where it's at right now. Basically, that project should have been one of the most successful projects of all time. What that dude created was incredible, basically. But gas fees fucked it over, and then the distribution of the whales dumped it to zero, basically, forever. So, I think at the very least, if that project was probably on something else like a PulseChain, that's why I'm even investing in it. But like, if it was like, let's just say that project was on. It's kind of fucked. Right? The reason he hasn't really branched it over to much other stuff is because supply is still being held by these same bad actors, basically. So he feels pretty like stuck between a rock and a hard place, honestly. So it's really sad hearing him talk like that and shit. Like it bums me out a little bit, because the guy really figured out a really, really unique system to like create a stable coin, actually, that's all Ethereum backed. And stuff like it's a real DAI. It's like it's really DAI, basically. What DAI should have been and stayed been, and no one can change it because it's immutable at that point. And no, there's no USDC, no nothing. So because it's Ethereum, Ethereum's fully decentralized, and that stable coin's backed by ETH. That shit's unstoppable, basically. But they found a way to fucking bastardize it and fuck it over. And I think that if I had to put my money on it, it probably was big money from USDC and Tether whales who destroyed it. Honestly, it makes total sense to me why that happened and shit. It's really messed up and stuff. Like I get why sometimes people keep their project really secret first until like all the supply is kind of distributed out to everybody and they know, and then before telegraphing it out there, because it protects you from like 51% attacks, basically. But
what's your feeling now on the macro and the market going?
I mean, they're all bitches. They're all scared. I mean, they're all scared.
Yeah, well,
the Fed's going to increase the rates and shit by a quarter of a base. I mean, a fucking quarter of a point.
I know it's at zero, and they're going to raise it a quarter point, and everybody's flipping out. I'm like, what the? A 0.25% is nothing.
Actually, I think it's going to drive real estate prices extremely high. So it's negative on real estate prices for a little bit, and then then it's going to finally put the fire under people's ass. Fuck, I need to get a house now. Shit. Because there's a whole thing between like, I think there's the sweet spot between like 0 and like 3%, where at some point everyone who's been on the fence about getting a house is gonna like, it's do or die now.
My first mortgage, I was happy to get it under 10%.
Oh,
I'm serious.
like I know, that's my parents got theirs. Like I think it was like 14 or some shit.
Oh,
It's
that's
disgusting.
ridiculous.
But the houses were super cheap too, though, at that time as well.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
But so I'm just sitting on some dry powder, and I'm like, I don't know what Bitcoin wants to do. It's just fucking. I'm just like, I gotta wait because it's too risky to buy. I feel too risky to buy right now. So
I mean, I like from what like obviously you know take everything I say with a grain of salt here, but like I do believe we're gonna like this market is more of a VC market. This cycle, the retail cycle is next cycle basically. And you guys have heard me say that already in other crypto mindsets and stuff, but we're in this sort of weird point where at some point me and Charlie will talk more about this during the course as well because we have a theory, and I think we may have cracked something big basically on this shit because it's so simplistic and we just like, Jesus, what the fuck? This can't be real. And they're like, yep, wow. Sort of like, it's gonna. You guys are gonna be like, wow, no way, and then you'll be like, yep. So, basically on what's kind of going on, at least a little bit on that is, we just have a ton of equity players that are in the space right now, but these equity players are going to get out of here basically at some point because they're going to age out, basically, and right now we're in sort of a hybrid equities crypto market, and then eventually over the next 10 years we're going to go fully into more of a crypto market where like the equities are affecting us less. But right now we're in the I think we're in the next couple of years we're in peak correlation with equities for a while. But I do believe once a dip happens, we uncorrelate pretty quickly. But every major crash, because so many people who hold crypto in this cycle, because unless you guys are all smart retail or early retail basically in this cycle, like you guys aren't normal in terms of there's 197 people live watching right now, like, so get the likes up, you guys. But like you guys are, it's not 20,000 watching, so it's a sort of thing where like you guys are here right now, you guys are very early, and we're the other money that's been buying has basically been institutional money. So they basically helped crash the 2017 market because that was an actual retail adoption market, and it was I've never felt such like exuberance. It was amazing. It's like amazing. It's like the best high. Like there's never been a high like that ever. Like maybe when Hex went to 56 cents, that shit was pretty sick. but like when I should have known too. Like anytime like I was like, if I'm getting invited to parties and shit, I'm like, fuck, I should like next time someone invites me out to some like big clubs and shit, everything earlier, I'm gonna be like
hit sell and then go to the party.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, all right, wait, hold up, let me market sell real quick, get the cash, and then we'll party. But yeah, so it's a lot of that stuff basically. So you have these kind of equity players coming into the space and stuff. So we're being affected by like the regular equities market in terms of how their cycle is kind of going away, and that's kind of how we've been thinking about it and stuff. So that's going to become less and less over time, but it is what it is right now. Eventually, more and more baby boomers retire and they just kind of leave, and then eventually that it starts kind of dissipating because by us being in crypto, we're not really participating in the equities market. So we don't have quarterly reports, and we don't have all this other stuff and all these trappings of like in the equities market. So we end up kind of playing by different rules. So it's more of like instead of our earning reports would probably be more like, oh fuck, upgrade coming in, or big announcement or something. It's like that. It's like buy the rumor, sell the news sort of events and stuff like that, where on equities it's like quarterly reports or something, basically like earnings reports. So it's a lot more like maybe there's only 3 of them a year for a crypto, where like in equities there's 4, maybe 5, and then maybe 5 or so. So and some sell events and stuff. So yeah.
I got 3 questions on 3 different topics.
Sure.
So the first question is, so you know how Alluvium is working on and are going to do the V2 staking, and then they have the immutable X for the in-game, where gas fees will be lower than whatever they normally would be. So if that is possible, why isn't Ethereum doing that, and or other exchanges or whatever it is doing that to make gas fees lower, like for everyone, for everybody. Like, how is Alluvium going to be able to do it, but not anybody else?
Well, it's coming out right now. I mean, like honestly, they. I want to say this is so bad. This is some course shit too, like on Ethereum. But yeah, Ethereum. It's all Ethereum's fault. Like they. How do I say it? Like they bastardized their own chain to placate the miners, and that's all I'm going to say on that right now. But we should have been having upgrades by now, way long time ago. Like
okay, but if Alluvium is able to come out with a V2 staking, why isn't like Uniswap doing a V2 staking or a V2 like to make the gas fees lower? Like, wouldn't that be an advantage? Like if, for example,
no, it's right. We're
going to make the gas fees lower. Now everybody's going to use Uniswap.
It's political. It's political, and also so the chain doesn't break up. They don't want miners. They don't want miners to fork the chain and contest the chain and cause bullshit, like cause another Ethereum Classic, basically event. Because the merge is happening in the next 6 months. So Ethereum is going to be fully deflationary in like less than 6 months. We're going to do the merge. I think it's in May, if I remember right. They may change the date a little bit, but when the merge happens, we no longer have any more a minor inflation rate. The miners are gone permanently. It's only proof of stake at that point. And then when we go full proof of stake, we go fully deflationary. We're burning about 1 million to 3 million Ethereum a year, current rates. So it puts us in a very, very different position and stuff. And then I think at that point, we're going to start getting more upgrades to Ethereum at that point, because we don't have the miners to like stop us and stuff. And I'll go into way more detail during the course and stuff, what's going on. But it really pisses me off because like they totally just like they robbed the real users of Ethereum and stuff like that in order just to pay off these scumbags, basically. Yeah.
All right. Now the second question is about the course. So I was in the Q4 course. Besides the PulseChain and the Hex part of it, is the course going to be the same with the topics? For example, when you had the topic of what do you call it? I can't remember the different topics you guys had, like the 41 coins.
Yeah, there's a couple staples that we're going to keep we always do, right? Obviously, everyone wants to know what's the top 40 coin list. It's a staple. It's gonna always be there. It's always a list that gets updated, but there's a lot more different. There's going to be a lot more different webinars on this one and stuff. This course is a lot more intermediate to advanced than previous courses. So, plus, me and Charlie have had a lot. We've had way more time to prepare for this course than the other courses in the past, which is pretty nice. It's only been 1 extra month, but that extra month was kind of crazy. Like I never gotten that before. So it's kind of nice. Just wish I wasn't sick during like half of it, but yeah, there's quite a bit of extra content and stuff that's coming out. It's gonna be a lot. You guys want it more advanced? You guys gonna get more advanced, basically. And I'm gonna be doing it. I've got a suite of stuff with obviously I've got all the Hex webinars, PulseChain webinars, and then I've got a really, really, really detailed yield farming strategies and stuff, and a lot of yield farms. I'm gonna show you guys numbers and show you guys my strats and stuff, and just it's a lot of shit. It's it's a lot of stuff, as well as new L1s we're investing into and everything like that, and top projects and other L1s. So obviously you guys can sign up right here at the cryptomindsetcourse.com. Put in your email right here, and it goes on sale this Monday. So if you put your email right here, I include the link in the description box, and sign up now, man. This is the longest we've ever had a course and stuff like that. So we're gonna sell from Monday basically to Sunday on Moon Day, basically to midnight on that Sunday. So we're extending. We're basically because the day landed on Monday, so we decided just to do the whole full week. So it's 2 days more than we usually do. So we always get messages from people every single quarter, like, "Oh, bro, I missed the course by a couple days or a day or so." So here you go. You got 2 extra days. No excuse now, basically. So get in while you can, and yeah, just use your best email, and you'll get the first email at Monday at midnight and stuff. So you guys can get in, and then you guys can get into the new Telegram group as well. And we got a lot of recorded content for you guys as well too, which is pretty cool. So yeah.
And the last question is, have you figured out and or worked out the details about your Vegas party? And if so,
it's under wraps, man. Under wraps. I cannot confirm nor deny the location yet, but like.
Okay,
yeah,
but I'm
coming.
just saying, you at least know that the only reason I'm asking is because I'm in Canada, and the earlier I buy a flight, the cheaper it is for me.
Right. So you will know by probably like somewhere like second, third week of February. It's going to be sometime in March.
All right.
It's going to be in March. Okay. Yeah, just because I can't do it in February because it's just so close from the course ending. Basically, it's just a little too close there. Basically, so so it's going to be in March, and then I'll give you guys details and stuff, and then yeah, man, there's going to be a cool hangout and stuff, and then from there, just you guys don't when the event's over, just don't get into trouble getting fucked up at the fucking bars and shit. I mean, it's Vegas, so I mean, you guys can do what you guys want to do, but be careful. Obviously, don't be acting like fools. Like, I got all this fucking hacks, motherfuckers. I can't tell me shit. But yeah. So, do you guys have any final words, man?
I got a question.
Close this off. We just hit the 2-hour mark.
Dot Kusama. So we're at the ratio of 10. I've got a bunch more dot than Kusama, and
right.
I'm thinking I should roll it into Kusama.
Try to see. Watch the ratio. See if you can get under 10.
It's 10 now. It's just a bit under 10. Like I could. Kusama's 255 and dot's 24 or something. So
Gotcha.
It's 10 dot to 1 Kusama.
Right. I mean, it's the sort of thing like I'm still more. I've still got more conviction on Kusama than I do dot right now because its ecosystem is just more ahead of the time. So there's going to be. I think there's going to be more of a pump on that, and you've just had a longer time for the supply to get constricted and stuff. But through all what's it called, the sales basically.
I think I want to sell some of it anyway and move it to either Phantom or Terra. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean either one's not terrible. If you feel like you're overexposed, you can take some off the top and add to another ecosystem. I personally do like Terra. It's just the thing is like all the APYs are always like around 20% to like 30%. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I fuck with like Luna a lot, but like I'm not really like wow. I've never like been wowed like too much. It's a lot of borrowing on Luna basically. Like they're trying to lever you out a lot on there, and like there's like tokens and stuff. If you're 40% LTV down and stuff, you get more coins and there's strategies and stuff. But a lot of it is about levering yourself out and stuff. Which on Phantom I never had to do, or any chain really. Like I felt like I had to, but the whole point of Luna is to like burn your Luna to get more UST, and then use the UST on Terra Station or the new Astro Station or Astroport to earn that 20% plus or something, plus like some yield rewards and stuff. So it's still like kind of building out and stuff like, but there still isn't that many projects, but we do know of projects coming down the pipeline, but they're coming out later this year. So we still are missing a ton of Luna stuff right now.
Well, maybe I'll use some of my Polkadot to go into Tomb or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, just do the research and stuff into like the project and stuff. It's just tiptoe first into the cemetery first before doing any of the other stuff. You know, like we said.
Maybe I'll wait for the course.
Maybe wait for the course. I will say this though, like if you guys have any dry powder and stuff, just wait for the course to happen. Just like, any dry powder left after the sacrifices and stuff, but like wait for the course to come out and have as much dry powder as possible, because you may want to allocate stuff. There's a farm I'm very excited about. That's like I'm earning as much as like Alluvium did back in the day. Which is pretty significant, and it's still pretty under the radar right now. And it's it gives you a position into both an L1 and into another ecosystem main token and stuff. And I think it's going to be a fucking slam. It's going to be a fucking slam dunk and shit. Yeah. So.
And really, ever since the parachains, it looks like the Kusama ratio is more like 8 to 11. So at 10, you're kind of in that middle zone. There isn't a real clear signal to swap right now. Before the parachains, this 10 would have been before the dot parachains, 10 would have been a good signal. But since that parachain, that channel has shifted down. So you're kind of right in the middle of the channel right now, or kind of towards the high end of the channel even. So I would say it's probably not a good spot to be swapping either direction.
Yeah, that's why I said if you can get under like 9 or 8, like 9 or something that gives you a little extra, especially just you hold Kusama. Like right now, I think I hold no dot now. I have all Kusama personally, but I have it all on Kraken staked out. Yeah, that 22% APY is pretty nice, and
I did my last 2 swaps at 850 and 11. That's kind of what I've been targeting for flipping back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, right now everyone's a gloom and doom right now because like, oh no, it's over. We're in a bear market. It's done. But it's like we're gonna come back. It's gonna come back, and like this is like this is the thing. Like it makes me laugh. Like I'm actually pretty excited about launching the course like around this time because the prices are down, so everyone's getting a good price. But it hurts everyone likes to buy high though, it does, don't they, huh? Prices are high. It's whoa shit. It's real easy to buy coins when the prices are high. Yeah. Because but when the prices are going down, I don't know, man. Do you think it's gonna go? Like, do you think I don't know, man.
It's tough.
It's tough, right? But it's like it's the same, but if you do it in reverse, right? The price is going up, you're like, the price is going up, like should take my money. And it's like it's you want to buy on red days. You want to buy when no one wants it, or like obviously you have to see some future in it, obviously, but like you want to like these are the times when you buy Phantom. Like earlier when I was showing you guys, like I was showing you guys, I was talking about me buying Hex at 18 cents and 13 cents the whole time. Like I was like, if you guys don't have any Hexes, good time to get priced. Look at the prices at right now. Like you got about 15 cents, 13 cents, 18 cents. You'd still be up right now on your Hex. On just that right there. Phantom, I bought it at like $1.30 and stuff. Some guys in the courses were able to buy it at 90 cents on that flash crash that happened.
Yeah, I got it for $1.25 or something.
Ridiculous. So even right now, I mean, what's the price? I don't even know the price of Phantom. What's the price of Phantom right now?
It's $241.
$240. So you're literally up $1 per Phantom, which is quite substantial. So it's like that, and then too, that's not even counting if you guys kept your Boo and kept all the other coins as well. So it's like, all in on ADA. Fucking dude. In the chat, this is really funny actually. Like, yep, all in on ADA, baby. But yeah, you're not allowed to talk about it if you're just saying what. Oh yeah, but yeah, basically and stuff. Yeah, you can earn 18% Kraken, but on Fearless it's a little higher, basically.
Yeah. They bumped up Kusama on Kraken, but not Polkadot.
Not Polkadot, yeah. Well, anyway, you guys, I'm ending the stream here. You guys have a good night. All right.
Thanks.